Day 17. Super excited. This one is powerful. It can and should be its own topic. That's a certainty. This one you can carry with you daily. This one we put in motion daily. And we just remember these basics. And if we can take them apart, we can take our life apart, if we can take situations apart, if we can take fears apart and moments apart in this process of thinking, it'll make it much easier, okay? Some of it we've touched on, and we're just gonna put it together here. The first one, and it's all about focus, right? So as we're moving towards a life where we live with purpose, right? We eat with purpose. We watch with purpose. We learn with purpose. We work with purpose. We drink, we organize our body with purpose. We're not just, I'll do what I can, I'll do what tastes good, I'll do what's convenient, but let me just try and get by. As long as the person at the 9 to 5 tells me how to do what I do, I'll be just fine until I'm not. So I'm going to tie this in with current events in 2024. NVIDIA, big company, been around forever, been building chips and everything and forwarding on technology for a while. And in today's universe, what they're doing with AI is making it seem like everybody is going to be without a job. I can pair this back to in the mid-90s when I was taking classes. I was taking computer classes, and I got laughed at a little bit by some people because I wanted to learn about computer systems. They would always say, computers are going to be the future. Well, look at now. Back then, there was a large group of people where I'm from that did not want to go that way. Oh, I don't know anything about computers. I don't want to know anything about computers. And they didn't. They chose not to go down that path. I always did and still am, right? You've heard my past a million times. So I love computers and I love technology and moving forward. And people that didn't go down that lane, let's say we pulled them out of the mid-90s and we put them in 2024 and we said, okay, go get a job. What job would they get where they don't use computers? It would have to be straight manual labor. I mean, it would have to be manual labor. Even then, communication back with whoever they're communicating with, they're going to have to use some sort of computer to do it. So, case in point, with AI and where AI is going, we can employ these basic rules, these basic thoughts to stay in control so that we stay in control of our mind and our way of being, so we're not having to take pharmaceuticals or whatever it is to control how we think and how we feel, okay? So number one, we focus on what we can control, not on what we can't control. We're never a victim, right? So let's say that I'm at my current job and AI takes over and it takes over everything that I do. I can't control that. It's beyond my control. What I can do is try and stay in front of it, and anybody in today's world can go to the internet and search, how will AI affect put in your industry? How will it enhance it? Let's always think in ways to enhance it. And that's what computers did from the mid-90s to today. It enhanced pretty much every industry, even restaurants, how we get our food, everything, how I'm communicating with you. This has all moved forward and faster as we merge more and more with the digital world. So we can stay out in front of that. We can control that. We can control what we research and how it's going to change our industry. Let's say we love our industry and we want to stay in it. Okay, then you need to be one of the people that's at the forefront of that and continue to research that and look it up and understand what that is to make sure that you remain useful in your industry. Otherwise, you'll be part of those other group in the 90s that didn't, and they just go the other way, and whatever happened to them, happened to them. So let's focus with everything in life, what we can control, not what we can't control. And I know a lot of times it's easier said than done. So let's say we had a death in the family. Can I control that happened? No, it happened. I can control how I react to it. Moving forward, how I support others that are being affected by it. how I mentally am going through the process of grieving and working through it and making sure that I am okay. I can ask for help, I can get books. I'm gonna move in and begin to control what I can control. All right, going hand in hand. Many people get stuck in the past. They're so stuck in the past by what they did back then or what happened to them back then, how they were victimized back then, and they'll reference it, and they'll reference it, and they'll reference it. They're stuck in this loop. They never, ever look to the future and let the future pull them forward. We can learn from the past. It goes hand in hand with control. I can't change the past. It happened. Good, bad, or indifferent. It's done. Let's learn. It's okay to grieve, right? If it's a grieving situation, or understand and just try and put it in its place so that it makes sense to you. But that's our past. Done. Let's move forward. What does my future look like, right? We're always writing that down. We have our goals down. We have things that we're working towards. Let's continue to move forward, and our future will pull us up to that next level. Or we go somewhere and we sit around other people that continuously look into the past, to that past marriage, to that past job, to the past great times we had in college or high school. Those are so great. Okay, well let's do it again. And again and again. Let's move forward to our future. Let's take all those lessons and let's grow. Let's be bigger and better. Let's do that. But we do not live in the past. We do not focus on the past. I'm not saying don't have memories and don't enjoy those times every now and then to reminisce about what it was like to be in that situation or that situation. Great, that's cool. But 99.9% of the time, we're continuously thinking about our future, we're planning our future, we're mapping our future, and it is pulling us forward, and it is amazing. It is great. Huh? All right. In today's world of pretty much instant gratification with anything material, right? If I think about it, I can jump on my phone, go to Amazon. A lot of things I get same day delivery, or it's the next morning delivery, or it's the next day delivery of anything material that I want. Or let's say with cars. Now, I love cars. So let's say I see a car, oh, I wish I had that car. I really wish I had that car. Gosh, why don't I have that car? Why do I have to have this car? No matter what this car is, statistically speaking, let's say I go get my dream car today. Within about 3 months, it's just gonna be my car. It's gonna be what takes me to where I'm going, and then I get out, and someone else might say, hey man, that's a nice car. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I'm kind of done enjoying it. It's just what I drive now. So 2 different lessons there. But the first one is, I don't constantly think about things I do not have. I, as you know, take inventory of what I do have, and I'm sure that I'm maximizing all of my tools, and I know what I need to get, what tools I need to get to add to what I'm doing so that I can keep moving forward, onward and upward. For example, classes. In the last 7 days, have I spent a significant amount of money on classes that I'm gonna take in the next 2 months? Yes, I need those. I didn't sit around and go, oh, I don't have those. No. I researched and researched and researched and researched until I got the very specific one that I needed. Because the one that I wanted was, 2 years ago, $50,000. $50,000? I mean, that's a pretty good amount of money for anybody for a class. I was able to get it for significantly less 2 years later. Now, I didn't stall and wait. I've been working and working and working and working. It finally came. I was writing about it. I was journaling about it, thinking about it. And then, lo and behold, there it was right in my lap. And for a significantly lower price. And so I jumped on it because that's the way I think about it. I don't think about what I don't have. I think about what I do have, and I know what I need to get next. And then I constantly look for it and look at it until it's right where I want it to be, and then I execute. So there's never a victim mentality. That is not something that we weigh on. I don't constantly go back into the past. I remember Grant Cardone when he speaks about the days of him being an addict. And he would go in and he would go into rehab, and it dawned on him that they would sit around And they would speak for hours about what they did in the past and how they handled the past and how bad things were in the past. And one day he just looked around and said, why do we keep talking about the past? Why don't we look at our future? Why don't we do that? Why don't we start moving forward and let that pull us forward? They looked at him like he was silly. And every time he would leave, they would tell him, hey, we'll see you again. See you in a few months. You'll be right back. Everybody comes back. And without time, he said, no, you won't. You'll never see me again. Clicked. These are all simple concepts. But if we do put them into motion on a daily basis and we constantly remind ourselves of these things, because the outside world doesn't usually operate that well. Other people usually don't operate that well. They like to keep looking at the past and making it exciting and making it more dramatic and adding some blood to it. We don't need that. You don't have to stay in that loop. I refuse to stay in a loop. I'm here to grow, to get better, to constantly get higher. I can't be better to help you and millions of other people if I just kept thinking about my past. I'd be sitting somewhere thinking about my past. Not the way to be. Not the way to be at all. Recently, I was listening to a talk, and this person said something pretty powerful. It hit me, and it was a way to bring home a lot of what we're talking about here in regards to us creating our future and how we think and how we operate. And what she said was, if you say something out loud at the end of this statement, say, and that's exactly the way I want it to be. So if I'm outside and I go over and I see something was knocked over by the wind, and it's a pot that I really, really liked and it's broken, and I say, gosh, see, I spend good money on these pots and they just break. Bad things always happen to me. And let's include, and that's exactly the way I want it to be. Whoa, that's not exactly the way I want it to be. Well, then I shouldn't think and say these words, because I'm solidifying a simple thing that happened by nature and I'm tying it to me, and I'm pretty much telling the universe, I'm okay with that. Let's keep it coming. Let's keep it going. Let's keep going that direction. Things like that, with every phrase that you say, that's a little you think is just general, you weren't making a specific point, add that to the end. And let's test our thoughts. Let's test what we're saying. Let's be a little more conscious of what we say out loud. Oh, I'm weak because of this. And that's exactly the way I want it to be. No, it is not. No, it is not. If I do need to mention that, which again, we've covered this before, I don't need to mention that. But let's say I just say, wow, you know what? I am weak in this area, but I'm gonna find ways to make that area stronger. I'm doing things to improve myself there. But for now, I am a little weak, but I am getting much better. Completely different than, oh no, I'm weak in that area. That's the way I am. That's the way I'll always be. And that's exactly the way I want it to be. No. So test that theory. Try that theory. Test it with somebody else. Maybe it's with your partner. Maybe it's with someone you're always around. Maybe it's with someone at work. Add that in. And then politely bring up the challenge for them to do it. And they may say, whoa, I didn't even know I was doing that. Yes, you're constantly creating your own universe. Second to second, moment to moment, thought to thought. I swear to you are. You're tying it together. And it's appearing and it's there. We just get so used to it that we revel in it. We live in it. We somewhat enjoy it for some reason. And then we just dream about that for 2 seconds and walk away. And we say to ourselves, that'll never happen because that's exactly the way I want it to be. So let's turn that around today, okay? All right. So first, recap. 2 things. I call them the big 3. First, I focus on what I can control, not on what I can't control. I do recognize it, but I don't focus it. I focus on what I do have, focus on all the things that I have, right? I'm taking inventory. I focus on the next list of items that I'm going to be adding to my inventory so that I can move forward. I do not focus on what I do not have. Don't do that. I do not focus on the past. Don't do that. That has happened. We learn from the past and we move forward, right? We're always moving forward. And then We are using our little tool here, and that's exactly the way I want it to be, to make sure that we're building our universe day to day, month to month. The faster we can implement these things, the faster it happens. I promise you that. Yes, it does. Yes, it will. You will be amazed at how quickly it will change. All right. Action items. Let's journal about this. I know I always say that. I do mean it. That's how you take it from me and you make it yours. Just write down about that. Write down the 3 rules. Just think about it. Sit down and just think. Give yourself 10 minutes. Just 10 minutes. You can do a lot in 10 minutes. Just sit down for 10 minutes. Turn your timer on if it bothers you. Just say, you know what, for 10 minutes, I'm going to think about this. And I'm going to be a little more vigilant with how I live and the plans that I make and what I say and the people around me and how they're operating, right? Because that's going to keep you right there, or it's not. All right? All right. Say it with me. Come on. It's making a difference. I know it did for me, and it does for me. Every day, in every single way, I'm getting better and better, and better and better, and better and better. That's right, you are. I am amazing. Say it. Yeah, you are. Yes, you are. There is greatness in me. Yes, there is. There is greatness in you. You need to believe that. We're unleashing what you were meant to be. It is in there. I need you to know that, believe that. Say it to people, tell people. Most of them, if they're your friends, they'll be like, you are great. This is exciting. They will bond with you in seconds and go with you. Say it, share it. All right. I got this. Huh? Say it. I got this. You do. You do. Second to second, moment to moment. I am so proud of you. I am so proud of you. Thank you.